Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The honorable person in my lecture, Ms. Yuna Tresna Wahyuna, and all of my beloved friends. First of all, let us thank the Almighty Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala because of His blessings we are able to come here to join in this linguistics meeting. Secondly, salawat and salam also deliver to our Prophet Muhammad SAW, who has guided us from darkness to the lightness. Ladies and gentlemen, presentation today is about phonetics and phonology. Before we show our presentation, let me introduce our team. I am Rizka Aureliani as moderator, Nora Putri Laylatul Shifa as the first presenter, Rianti Safa Akila as the second presenter, Shakila Arzaki Fiandi as the third presenter, and the last Rian Gemilang Taufik as the fourth presenter. And now, let's open our meeting by saying Basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you. The next agenda is presentation sessions. For the first turn will be given by the first presenter. Please welcome Nora Putri Laylatul Shifa.
Alright, so the first material I will explain is what do phoneticians and phonologists do? Phonetics and phonology are the branches of linguistics that deals with speech sounds. This word definition is indicative of the bird type of work that phoneticians and phonologists do. The first one, the description of individual vowels and consonants used to form words in a particular language or dialect. The second one is sound patterns, which trace over longer chunks of speech, includes stress, rhythm, and intonation. The third one, how children develop the ability to speak their native language in a few years. Next, there is how listeners are able to identify where a speaker is from, as well as how old they are and what their gender is from just a few seconds of speech. And next, how we can program computers to generate and recognize speech, and many more interesting topics. Phonetic versus phonology. Something that is often misunderstood is the difference between phonetics and phonology. In short, phonetic is the study of human sounds, and phonology is the classification of the sounds within the system of a particular language or languages. To extend this a little further, it is helpful to use an analogy. Consider the way that buildings are designed and made. Glass makes good windows, but makes poor floors. Bricks make good walls, but poor windows. This relates to the study of phonetics, the way that sounds are made and their relative properties. But the materials to make a house aren't much good by themselves. They must be fitted together in some way. This is related to the study of phonology, how speech sounds are put together to form complete structures. So, phonetic is the raw materials and phonology is the design principle and decision in bringing those materials together.
Alright, thank you for the opportunity. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Rianti Safa Akila, and we'll discuss about phonetics and phonology vowels. Before we start to discuss, I want to ask a question. How can we write down speech sounds? For example, how can we capture the difference between a Northern British accent saying fat and Southern British accent saying fat? The answer is by using the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA for short. The full IPA captures all the known sounds across the world's language and includes 107 sounds. To make things easier, we will only be looking at the phonetic alphabet for English, which has 44 sounds. Individual speech sounds are called phonemes. A single phoneme may be represented in writing by 1, 2, 3, or 4 letters. For example, the word gate has 3 letters and 3 phonemes. And then the word cage has 5 letters and 3 phonemes. And the last one, the word couch, has 6 letters and 3 phonemes. Let's now look at the English phonetic alphabet. We will do this by grouping sounds into vowels and consonants, and then exploring their various subgroups. The first, vowels. Vowels are made by pushing air out from the lungs and allowing it to pass through the vocal tract without obstruction. They are normally voiced, that is, their production involves vibration of the vocal folds. The easiest way to know if a sound is voiced is to place your fingers and thumb on your throat and produce a sound. If you feel the throat vibrating or buzzing, that is a voice sound. Vowels can subgroup according to their length. They can be short or long. Short vowels. There are 7 short vowels in English. The first is S in the word quick. The second one is S in the word fine. And then the third one is S in the word spat and mat. And the fourth one is S in the word drum. And the fifth is S in the word spot. And the sixth is S in the word foot or full. And then for the last one is S in the word water or banana. And then we move to long vowels. There are 5 long vowels in English. The first one is S in the word speak or fit. And then S in the word moon or true. And then S in the word hurt and third. And then S in the word south and fourth. And the last one is S in the word bar and father. Okay, and next we will discuss about diphthongs. Diphthongs are really thin vowels, where one vowel sound leads into another one as a result of the lips or tongue moving. A diphthong is a change in vowel quality, whose sounds change within the same syllable. Or we can say that diphthongs is a combination between 2 vowels. And then there are 8 diphthongs in English. The first one is A, as in boy and slave. And then the second one is O, as in joy and boy. And then A, as in fight and high. O as in cow and now. And then O as in go and blow. And then A as in care and flare. And then E as in hear and fear. And then the last one is U as in pure and tour. Alright, that's all from me. And we move to the other discussion.
Phonetics and phonology consonants. 1. Voicing. Voicing refers to the presence or absence of vocal vibration during speech sound production. In a voiced sound, there is vocal fold vibration and an audible buzzing sound. In an unvoiced sound, there is no vocal fold vibration. Example, in each pair, one sound is voiced and one sound is unvoiced. Which is which? 1. And B. 2. And D. 3. And 4. And 5. And B. 6. Z. And 7. And J. Place of articulation. The place of articulation is the physical location in the vocal tract that a phoneme is produced in, and the kinds of articulatory movements that are involved in producing a sound. Here is a diagram of the vocal tract. 1. The labial consonants are produced at the lips. Example, E, Ch, and B. 2. Labiodental consonants are produced with the lower lip and the upper teeth. Example, E, Ch, and P. 3. Dental consonants are produced when the tongue is placed between the teeth. Example, E, Ch, and D. 4. Alveolar consonants are produced with the tip of the tongue and the alveolar ridge. The hard bony ridge behind the teeth, E, Ch, and S. 5. Post-alveolar sounds are produced with the tip of the tongue and the roof of the mouth, specifically the area in between the alveolar ridge and the soft lip. Example, E, Ch, Sh, and J. 6. Palatal sounds are produced between the tongue and the hard palate. Example, E, Ch, and J. 7. Velar sounds are produced between the back of the tongue and the velum. Example, E, Ch, K, and Ch.
3. Manner of articulations. Plosives involve a complete closure where the vocal articulator fully meets and airflow is stopped. This creates the explosion of sound when the closure is released, hence the name plosive. The plosive sound in English are B, D, 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 K, and G. Fricatives involve a close approximation where the vocal articulators do not fully meet and airflow is forced through a narrow passage. This creates the friction sound, hence the name fricative. The fricative sounds in English are F, V, S, Z, Z, Sh, and J. Approximants involve an open approximations where vocal articulators are still close but not enough to create frictions. The approximant sound in English are J, R, N, W, or W. Nasal sounds are produced by air coming out through the nose and mouth. The nasal sounds in English are M, N, and N. Plosive, labial, P and B, alveolar, T and D, velar, K and G. Fricative, labiodental, V, F and V, dental, and Z, alveolar, S and Z, post-alveolar, Sh and J. Approximant, alveolar, R, palatal, J, velar, W, nasal, bilabial, M, alveolar, N, and velar, Ng. Affricative, alveolar or post-alveolar, Ch and J.
Ladies and gentlemen, finally we are come to the last agenda. We would like to say thanks again for the presenter. The conclusion of presentation today is, according to its definition, phonology is the science of a system in a language. The science is one of the branches of linguistics that deals with how to pronounce a language. Phonology also discusses the history of a language, how the language can appear and disappear. In studying a language, of course, you will face this one science because the science of phonology examines the mechanism of a language clearly. And phonetics is the science that discusses how sound can be formed using several parts of the body, namely the lips, teeth, tongue, pharynx, and lungs. The science only discusses the relationship between body parts that produce sound. For the formation of a language, the production to the perception of sound will be studied in this one science. In studying phonetic science, you will get to know 3 types of phonetics, including articulatory phonetics, which is the study of how sound is formed, auditory phonetic, which is the study of a language accepted by the listener, and acoustic phonetics. Hopefully the presentation will give benefit for us. Thank you for your attention. See you later. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.